I made a dress. I'm not sure I like it. I've got a special, my dad's 80th birthday in like a couple of days time from when I'm filming this. I feel like there's no time to do anything else. I don't have really any other fabric or patterns, so let me know what you think. I thought I'd just quickly do a Friday Says catch-up video so you can see. I'm going to give you the full effect. Let me just take the cardigan off. I do prefer it with a cardigan on because I am a real cardigan wearer. I'll just step back so you can see. I've put heels on. Hopefully you can see. So this is the outline of the dress. I'll come a bit closer. So the front, I made, the pattern was the Mia dress by, can't remember, so I'll put it on screen. I adapted it quite a lot from where it was, but the V-neck and everything sat quite nicely, and sometimes I get like that hollow shoulder, so I find it's like quite loose up across here, but it actually fitted quite nicely. But I didn't like the sleeve, so I took the sleeve off and I dropped the armhole down for about 1 inch or so, and then just sort of changed the angle, chopped some off where it would sit, from opposed to a sleeved version. It would sit closer to the edge of my shoulder. The narrow shoulder adjustment, 1 inch out of the, shortened the waist at the front by 1 inch, and added 1 inch at the back to the centre back, and then tapered to nothing at the sides, which is what I learned on my tailoring course for a sway back adjustment. Let me just show you. So it's quite fitted at the back, and then the skirt part is actually a skirt block that I did from a tailoring course, and the course kind of abruptly ended before they showed us what we do with our blocks and how to make patterns using them. So I've kind of bodged it a bit. So with the front panel, I added more fabric to the front part because it was quite a sort of fitted pencil skirt. That was the course that I learnt on, but I wanted something with a bit more ease and flow. But I feel like I added too much, so I did a few variations and then just kept sort of shaving off from here. I still feel, it just feels, I don't know, like maternity wear. I'm not sure, perhaps it's the colour, a bit like matron looking. Let me know what you think. You'll probably all say it's fine because I know the colour is like one of my colours from my colour palette, and from a distance it's still, and from the front I feel, from the front and from the back it's fine. I don't like the side. So I made a twirl and the waist seam was sitting nice and even, nice and level. And now I've made it, you can probably see, it's rising up, and then I feel like I've got all this like extra fabric here. So it looks like, you know, I'm catering for a big feed perhaps, I don't know. It's like, so it kind of, I feel like I needed to have pinched out more fabric, but it's too late because I've made it. I lined the bodice because the bodice pattern originally just had facings because it had like the sleeve, and I don't like facings, so I found it easier just to line the whole thing. And I lined it in linen with exactly the same one, so it all kind of blends in. You don't have to worry about anything like peeping out from a different kind of fabric. I added pockets too low. I didn't bother to look on the pattern piece for the original pattern where you put the pockets, and I just sort of went, yeah, this is where my hands sit, and I'll put pockets in. I think on a normal pattern it's probably about 1 inch, it's possibly 1.5 inches down from the waist seam, but I didn't take that into account. So it's probably about 4 inches down from the waist seam, which is really too low because it adds bulk around the hip area, but it is where my hands naturally sit, and I do have somewhere that I can put my hands. I'm just really undecided about it, but I have nothing else to wear. I ordered some jersey fabric culottes, like some black ones, and they came today and they are completely see-through, so I'm going to have to return them, and that was my backup option. So I don't have a backup option now. I will show you what it looks like with a cardigan because I'm a bit of a cardigan wearer. I love an H&M fitted cardigan actually, and this one is, oh actually this might, oh this is Marks and Spencer, might be slightly bobbled, but it's really stretchy, and it makes me feel comfortable where the dress doesn't. So I don't know, does it go? Oh, try not to walk into the chair at the same time. So if I put my hands in the pockets, it doesn't make the dress tight, or it doesn't pull or anything. It's just that side view, it's just like, I don't know if the cardigan can sort of conceal it a bit or how I can rescue it. I'll show you what the original pattern looked like and how I got to this stage, because I'm afraid it's filmed in portrait mode because I put it on my Instagram stories. It's just like a couple of seconds long, but it had sleeves and it was a tiered dress. And although I just sewed it up in like an old bed sheet, so it didn't have the flow of like a viscose rayon or something like that, I felt there was too much fabric. It finished at a funny length for me. I'm not the tallest person, I'm 5'3.5". And there was just, the tiers were just, there was too much. So my daughter said, oh, it would look better if I just sort of straightened it out and just got rid of all the gathering and just made it more like an A-line. So I thought, oh, well, I'll dig out my skirt pattern that I made and match it with the bodice and just do slight adjustment to make it sleeveless, because I thought it was gonna be hot. I don't think it is. It's gonna be an afternoon tea out in the garden between 1 and 5. So it's not summer, you know, it's still April. I think it's been about 16 degrees, so I'm gonna have to go and get some tights to wear, I think, with it. I tried it originally on with socks and trainers and it looked really bad. I just feel a bit like I look like a mum who, you know, needs to just have her little shopping bag and she's put on a bit of weight and then asked a couple of years and has to wear something loose and flowy. And I tried on a dress I made a couple of years ago actually, which was viscose, and just the feel of the fabric was all swishy and thin, and the way that it hung, it just had more drape to it. And I think perhaps that's the thing, because also linen, it will soften up as you wear it. It's just not a fabric I wear. I've never made a linen dress before, and that could be it. I don't know, tell me what you think. I'll show you what the toile looked like, because the toile looks a lot better, and that was made out of an old duvet cover, and no, I'm not going to make that as a dress because it's a duvet cover and it doesn't match or anything. But I was just a little bit disappointed. Do you ever feel disappointed with your makes? It's not great. While I'm here, let me just show you something. Let's just go on to something positive. I'll just quickly show you something my daughter made in her art class. So my daughter told me that she'd made a pot in her art, a bowl, and we have a cat, or she has a cat rather, called Jack, and so she made it, and so she put some paw prints in there, and so she said I could have that. It's quite heavy, so I thought rather than just stick it in a memory box or something, I'll have it on my sewing table and I'll put my threads in. I'm sure at some point I will accidentally knock it off my desk, because I also knocked off the seam ripper that my dad made for me for the second time and completely snapped the end off it. So we've got replacement parts that I need. My dad is then going to fix it for me. So I'm a little bit clumsy, a little bit accident prone. But I thought, from me and the cat, I would just fill you in on where I'm at if you saw my post on my community tab, why I'm undecided and what it is that I've been up to. I've just filmed this video and then I just realised something. When I was making this dress and everything else, I was wearing a different bra. I found that I had an underwired bra and I was so fed up with the bra, the wire digging into me. I went and got fitted for a non-wired bra, and I think that has thrown things off, because perhaps things aren't as lifted as they were, and I think when I've like done a few adjustments, I found like the waist seam is actually sitting level again. So I guess it's just, if anything, I can just say, if you are making a dress for anything, make sure you've got the correct underwear for what you're going to be wearing as, if it's a special occasion especially, because I didn't realise it would make that much difference. I know when you get married and they say you try on a wedding dress, they're like, make sure you're going to go to the fittings in the underwear that you will be wearing on the day. But obviously I didn't think it would make that much difference to me, but clearly it has. Oh, by the way, if you haven't gone non-wired, it's so much more comfortable. Anyway, so I don't know, I might have to find that I'm sort of yanking things up and adjusting things, or that I guess the waist seam is just gonna rise to the back again. But I didn't realise until I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, I just wonder if that's made any difference. And I think it has. I'm still not entirely convinced. I'll let you know if I wear it, and if I didn't, what I did wear instead.